University of Montana. Beverly, you've served a number of leadership roles over the years within your schools and professional organizations, including NCTE. Can you speak about those roles and the lessons of advocacy you learned from them?
I've been blessed to have a wonderful career. And throughout my career, I truly believe that I, as an educator, and we as educators together, should always walk the talk. So, whatever we're asking our students to do, whatever ask our students to take a risk, to assert themselves and share their opinions and points of view, that we as educators and as role models should also do that, not only within our classrooms, but also in our communities and in the larger professional conversation.
Thank you. Now, in mentoring and leadership, a conversation with Beverly Chin, Lee Williams of Slippery Rock University asked you a number of questions about leadership and your growth as a leader. And you spoke about the importance of mentoring others and encouraging them to be leaders. And you also wrote an article, Mentoring the Gift of Service, for the Council Chronicle. And you describe the influence of mentors every step of the way in your journey. Can you talk about the importance of mentors to encourage our educators to do the same?
Mentors are so important in each of our lives. I encourage our teachers to find mentors, to reach out and gain mentors. I believe mentorship is a very personal as well as a professional relationship. In those mentoring relationships, both the mentee and the mentor learn together. We learn about ourselves and each other and the larger community of educators when we work together and collaboratively. Through my mentors, I discovered how different individuals tap into their powers, their talents, their expertise to share with other people what works and what's important in education. So, through those mentors and those role models for me, I learned more about myself, what my own talents and strengths and experiences are. And therefore, that gave me the confidence to then share my own stories with others. And I think truly that's what advocacy is about. Us as individuals, as professionals, sharing our experiences, our expertise, and our passions with other people so that we're reaching out and inviting others into the conversation and building more collaborations, building more communities in which we all work together for the greater good. Now, how that relates then to mentorship, if I believe in walking the talk, then I want to do that with and for other people. So I'm always reaching out and seeing what I can do to support other professionals, be they beginning teachers or experienced teachers. And the mentorship relationship can be fluid. Sometimes the people whom I've mentored becomes my mentors and vice versa. So I think it's very important to reach out and find those people with whom we can learn together.
Thank you. Talk about your transition from local to state to national advocacy roles and what traits or skills you needed to bring to each one of those levels.
That's such a fascinating question. It really didn't start with local to national and then national back to local. It's been very fluid for me. I've been really fortunate to be in different leadership roles in the affiliate level, the national level, with other organizations. So sometimes I've worked at the national level and then brought it back to the local level. Sometimes I've worked in the local level and then it's grown to the national level. So I think it's a very fluid relationship. And I think looking for opportunities to share our passions, to share our stories about what works with and for our students, and why we need these kinds of policies or contexts so that all students can flourish. And that's, again, what I think about advocacy, that we're advocating not only for the students that we know, we're advocating what's best for all students. We're advocating what's best for all educators so that every single individual can be the best, most empowered, most articulate and confident individual we can be.
Thank you. You found that collaboration was also critical when NCTE worked with then IRA, now ILA created the English Language Art Standards. So can you talk about the importance of collaboration in advocacy?
I loved being president when the National Council of Teachers of English, with the International Reading Association at that time, published the standards for English language arts. That was back in 1996. And I was so pleased with the ways in which our two associations worked hand in hand with their local councils and affiliates to bring together a national conversation to look and articulate what the standard should be for all students. And within our organizations, we reached out to our local grassroots affiliates and councils, and they gave feedback to both of our groups, and then we would work together to see where do we have shared understandings and where are we a little bit different, and how do we negotiate those differences so we could produce an articulate, coherent document that actually unified the profession. I think that effort was one of the most important things that NCTE did as an organization, both at the national and the state levels. Because even though it was a 3-year process, it was a 3-year process to actually develop these standards. We engaged so many people at the local level, and they felt empowered to give us feedback on what they felt was clear, and they gave us feedback on what they wanted us to tweak or reconsider. And that as an organization, both at the grassroots and at the state levels, at the national levels, we worked together to create this, I think, really powerful document, the Standards for English Language Arts. I learned so much through that process, being a member, being a leader, and being a spokesperson. And I'm so proud of that collaboration, because I think it set the stage for then how other states could look at what their own standards for English language arts might look like at the local level. So it was a top to bottom and bottom to top, local to national, national to local. It was quite dynamic and synergistic and very positive.
You also learn that when you represent divergent voices in an organization, that you represent that organization, and when others criticize or attack, they're not attacking you personally.
Yes.
So what advice can you give to our educators to withstand an assault, and how to be strong and hold on to their position, or when to compromise, which also can be a strength?
That's a fantastic question. I think that's one of the most important lessons I've learned by being a leader, both on a campus level and a community level and a national level. When I've been in charge of local committees or state committees or even national committees and organizations like NCTE, we do represent diversity. We represent and respect many points of view. NCTE is a forum to bring together these divergent points of view and to really engage in critical conversations so that we can find out what is our shared common ground. When I represent an organization or a committee, I am mindful that I am representing the voices and the work of us collectively. And I strive to do my very best to represent what the will of that group is. And so when people critique, criticize, or even compliment our work, I understand that I am a representative, I'm a spokesperson. And I take great pride in saying, this is the work of us, the committee. And that's the responsibility of being a leader, that one understands that it's a consensus, we vote, we agree, and then we represent to others. And it's important to keep on revisiting those position statements, to look at those policies that we've agreed to, because we can always get better, more informed. But I'm very proud that when I'm wearing the hat of the spokesperson or the leader, that I have the information and the integrity to represent that group. And I think that builds trust within the group that I'm representing, but it also, the audience then trusts that I'm representing a group. And I make it very clear when I'm speaking on behalf of myself and when I'm speaking on behalf of a larger group.
You will be speaking to the Rotary in your community about the Common Core State Standards in Montana, and these businessmen want to understand the controversies surrounding those standards. And you intend to educate them about them. So tell me how this is the purest form of advocacy at the local level and how educators can do the same.
I was really flattered when the local Rotary organization invited me to come and speak at their luncheon. I think I will have 20 minutes. They said that they were concerned because they certainly read the media and listen to the media, and they were receiving very complex and controversial, conflicting messages. And they knew I worked not only at the state level, they know I work at the national level as well. So they wanted me to bring those different experiences to them so they could understand when they're reading the media, listening to the media, or even local conversations, what are the actual facts, so to speak, of Common Core State Standards, and why is there so much confusion, controversy, lack of consensus from their point of view. The Rotary Club is not just business, they're also professionals, they're also parents and school board members. And what I find this is to be a great opportunity because I get to again share my experiences and my story. So they want me to actually reveal to them, from my point of view as a national, state, and local leader, what the Common Core State Standards truly are as a document. And then why, if they look at the standards, which I will show them, why is there the conversation that has so many points of view and some of them are quite divergent? So I'm going to be sharing with them what the Common Core State Standards are, how Montana has used and implemented Indian Education for All with our Common Core State Standards, as well as the assessment part of it. Because I do think in the conversations, people are not representing Common Core State Standards in one document and then understanding that the state assessments or the assessment consortia, such as Smarter Balanced and PARC, are other aspects of the entire movement, if you will. So I think that's where they're confused. And I'd like to help them understand that when they're reading, that they begin to understand, oh, is this a conversation about the standards? Or is this a conversation about the assessment of the standards? Or is this a conversation about how the curriculum is being taught and implemented in a classroom or district level? So I'm hoping to help them understand, or demystify, if you will, some of the editorials, letters to the editor, or some of the debates that they're hearing at a local level.
So, in an interview, Lee Williams notes that NCTE does not shy away from taking difficult positions. And do you believe that NCTE should continue to take these tough, even controversial positions?
I have loved NCTE because it is a forum in which diverse points of view can come together and talk respectfully and critically about these important issues. As a profession and as individuals, we are always learning, we are always growing, we're always taking risks and reflecting. I think NCTE is a powerful organization because it embraces those divergent voices. Just as in the classroom, we as teachers respect, encourage, and embrace diverse points of view. We want all of our students to feel that they can voice questions, alternative points of view, and that we will have a safe, trusting classroom environment in which we can explore these critical issues. Likewise, at NCTE, both at the state level, affiliate level, national level, we need to also respect and embrace and welcome diverse points of view, but in respectful, constructive, and positive conversations. We don't want voices shut out. We want people at the table so we can be together and discover what do we have in common, which is our passion for literacy, our passion for our students to become the best people they can be, and for us as empowered educators to grow, to learn, to flourish, to take risks, to celebrate our accomplishments with our students. So I love NCTE because of that. But those conversations can be difficult. And I think we as individuals and as an organization need to always be mindful that we are here because we care. And we want people to care, and we want them here within NCTE. I think it empowers us. I think that when we speak, we have stronger voices. And because we embrace those diverse points of view, just as we embrace diversity in our classrooms in respectful ways, that we grow and flourish as an organization. We don't want to be monolithic. We want to be as rich and as diverse and as complex as we are as human beings, as we are in our classrooms, as we are in our nation and the world.
Thank you so much, Beverly, for your service and for meeting with us today. We appreciate it.
It's my pleasure. Thank you so much.